Hey there guys, welcome back to ARTFX Tutorial Tuesday, and this is the third video of the glitch hop season. As you can see, I'm now in the session view of Ableton. I don't normally use the session view that much, but for this video I do wanna, work with the session view a little bit. As you can see, I changed a little bit of the workspace. So what I did, I made a new MIDI track and loaded up a drum rack, and in this drum rack I have my main kick and my main snare. So those are the ones I made in the previous two videos. Right? So these two samples are now loaded up in this particular drum rack, and I've got a MIDI clip connected to it, and I can play it for you if you want, and it sounds like this. Nothing too difficult, nothing too complicated. It's basically just a kick hitting on every first and every second beat, on the first and every third beat, and a snare hitting on every second and every fourth beat. So today I want to dive into making a percussion loop, and I really want to explain a little bit about grooves, because grooves are really important. Before I can actually start explaining grooves, I need to make the actual percussion track itself, because without the percussion I cannot explain what the grooves in glitch hop mean. So to make this percussion track, I'm actually gonna use a new plugin that I've got recently, and it's Liquid Rhythm by Wave DNA. So Liquid Rhythm is a pretty interesting plugin. It's basically a MIDI clip editor for Ableton Live, and you can load it up as a VST or standalone instrument, or you can load it up as a Max for Live instrument. Now, with the new Ableton Live 9 and Max for Live now being integrated into Ableton Live, I really want to go a little bit more with the Max for Live version, since I really like the whole way Max for Live is set up and how it works together with all the elements within Ableton Live. So, if you don't have all the Max for Live instruments and effects that I have, I would really advise to you, if you have Ableton Live 9, to go to the Ableton Live website and download all the additional packs that they've got on there. They've got a couple of Max for Live packs, and they've also got pretty much a lot of interesting packs with sounds like the percussion and the breakbeats. I really think you should go there and download these packs. They are all free. There are a couple of paid ones too if you want to have some additional ones, but the free ones are pretty damn good. So let's get started with Liquid Rhythm. The first thing I need to do is load up Liquid Rhythm into my MIDI track. So right here I've got a MIDI track with a MIDI clip, 4 bars long, and there's nothing in it. So let's get started with Liquid Rhythm itself. Right here under Max for Live in my device browser, and then under the Max MIDI effect, I now have the option Liquid Rhythm. So I'm gonna drag that one into my Liquid Rhythm MIDI track. It's now going to start up the actual Liquid Rhythm software itself, so I'll give it a little bit of a moment to start this up, and there it comes. So this is the actual Liquid Rhythm software. To get started, right now, I mean, we are not gonna hear anything because there's no drum rack connected to this Liquid Rhythm. So I'm going to go back to my Ableton Live, and I'm now going to go to my categories here in my device browser, and I'm gonna go to drums. Now these are basically all drum racks, and I'm just gonna load up a random drum rack. Let's see. Let's take the one that's selected. I mean, drop it in there, and now we have a drum rack. With some interesting sounds. Now I could go into my MIDI clip right here and, you know, start editing in my particular groove, my particular loop that I want for the percussion section of this drum loop. But I'm gonna use Liquid Rhythm to do this. And I want to show you how interesting Liquid Rhythm is and what you can do with it. So let's switch to Liquid Rhythm, and as you can see, I've now got the exact same sounds loaded up in Liquid Rhythm. So when I you know, I can select these 4 bars, for instance, and drop in. By clicking this one, I can drop in this particular section, this particular bar. And you can see, because I've selected all 4 of them, it's gonna place it in every one of them. So if I press play now, it's actually gonna play the MIDI clip inside Ableton Live with the notes that I've placed in here. Now, to show you what has actually happened, you can see there's all kinds of things loaded up in this particular bar, and I want to show you how this looks in Ableton Live. So look at this one. You can see there's some kind of a thing going on at the start of each bar. Now I'm gonna go and switch to Ableton Live, and you can see that it has actually placed a note on the start of each bar. So I can easily now say that all these purple ones are the notes that are actually being placed in my MIDI clip. So if I play this, I'm now gonna hear the sound coming from Ableton Live, from the drum rack, but it's being triggered by Liquid Rhythm. So I don't want to go too much into detail about Liquid Rhythm and what everything in this interface is, because to be honest, I don't know what everything is myself. I've just started using Liquid Rhythm, and I just want to use it to lay down a pretty simple percussion pattern. So I don't really like this one, so I'm gonna drop it here, and let's choose a different one. I'm gonna take this one, and I really like this small interface down below, because I can hear, I can change the actual notes that are being used. So let's switch that to that, and let's see how this sounds. So I can add one towards the end, you know, do a little bit of different, maybe do a triple one at the end. See how that sounds. See, you can easily now, when I switch back to Ableton, see what is happening. So it has actually added in 3 notes at the end, which is pretty cool. So let's play both of these. And now you can hear what's going on. So it's pretty interesting. Let's stop this one. So as you can see, it has now done some interesting stuff, but I want to make this a lot more interesting. So I'm going to add some extra additional notes in here, and I'm just basically randomly clicking some things right now. It's not like I'm doing anything pre-thought or pre-done, pre-made, I don't know, I'm just doing whatever I think sounds good. Let's see, drop in one there, drop one more in there, and let's go in here, and I'm gonna do one more of that. And I'm really just randomly clicking things right now. Let's drop in one there. Drop in another one. Oh, drop in that one. Maybe add some kind of a sound like that. Maybe do this. I don't have a clue what I'm doing actually. But we're gonna see what we're gonna end up with, and I think this is pretty cool, because we can basically just do whatever we think is gonna sound interesting, and it is going to come up with an interesting kind of thing. So let's see. I think this is good enough. So let's see how our loop sounds right now. I think it sounds pretty interesting, if you ask me. We've got an interesting loop going now, and there's some more stuff that I can do. For instance, I can select everything and drop all these all the way down. And now if I click this surprise me button, it's basically gonna randomize the volumes of all of these notes. And it's gonna do that by 22%, so I'm gonna set this to 25%, press surprise me, and it's going to change the actual velocities. Let's bring the random velocity up to 70% and press surprise me again. This will make much bigger changes. So now when I play this, and as soon as I press surprise me again, it's going to change these velocities up. So I can now do the exact same thing for other stuff. For instance, I could take the beat sequencer up, and I'm going to select the wood blocks, just the wood blocks, and I'm going to press surprise me. So it has actually changed this one to a double note. Listen to it. See? And I can do this with every particular thing I want. Let's say I want to make a different progression with this one. Maybe bring it up a little bit. So it's now actually adding a triplet note in here. And this way you can actually come up with pretty interesting rhythms and pretty interesting percussion loops. So I think now I'm gonna switch back to Ableton Live. And I'm going to take a look at my pattern itself. As you can see, it has changed the pattern up a lot, and we've now have a lot of additional notes. I wanna change some things here. Right now we can actually start changing the overall sound of the loop. And there's a really interesting way we can do this, and that's when I press play on both of these instruments, on both these tracks, it's gonna play all these tracks together, and I can actually hot swap by using this button and then picking a different kit from my library, and it's basically going to swap this drum rack for the kit I chose, and it's going to play the exact same clip but with the new drum rack. So that way you can simply change up the overall sound until you find something that you like. And it doesn't have to be precisely correct and exactly the way you want it, because you can always go into the clip inside Ableton and change these notes a little bit, and they will automatically change within Liquid Rhythm as well. So that's a really interesting thing. Liquid Rhythm and Ableton Live's MIDI clips work together, and they function as a MIDI, and Liquid Rhythm functions as a MIDI clip editor for Ableton Live. It's pretty interesting, and I'm really wondering what I can do more with Liquid Rhythm. So I think you guys can expect some interesting videos coming with Liquid Rhythm soon. But for now, I'm going to try to find a good sounding drum rack that I can combine with this clip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press play right here. It's gonna play both clips, and then I'm gonna swap this drum rack until I find something I like. Okay, so as you could hear, I found this Funk Sounds E-flat major drum rack. You most likely won't have this drum rack, but that doesn't matter. You know, this is basically a drum rack with sounds that I sampled from one of my older tunes, and I put them all in a drum rack, and it actually sounds pretty interesting when I use these sounds to be triggered by the Liquid Rhythm device. There's a lot of great sounds in here. I mean, and this drum rack is going to be available at my website for purchase very soon, so watch out on my website for that. But I think let's go to Liquid Rhythm again, and I'm going to see what has happened. So something is a little bit weird right now, and I think I know what it is. Because I have placed this particular instrument within an instrument rack. So I'm going to take all of these and put them, let's see, I'm gonna cut these away from the instrument rack. I'm going to take the instrument rack out of it, and then I'm going to paste them in again, like that. And if I've done it right, yeah, we can now see all the different sounds in here. So I'm gonna do a little bit more. I'm gonna select this bottom bar, and I'm going to add in one single note. And let's see. I'm going to click Surprise Me and see what it does. Now, it's pretty interesting. Oh, that's even more interesting. I don't know what I'm gonna end up with now, but let's see how this sounds. This is a pretty interesting thing. I'm going to change this one to that, and that one too. So I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. Let's see. I think this is gonna sound really, really interesting. Let's see what we got. So as you can hear, I can now really change up the way this sounds by clicking the Surprise Me button. And it's totally changing up the way the whole loop works and how it sounds. Now I do like these first two ones, so I'm gonna duplicate them. So we have exactly the same thing going on, and then I'm going to add in one more note at the end. So and when I now unsolo it and play the entire clip, okay, so I'm gonna take that one out of it. It's pretty interesting. I could even take this one and drop it down. See how this one sounds? Okay, that's not really interesting. Maybe this one. And maybe I can click Surprise Me, see how it sounds, see what we can come up with. So now we get... Okay, I really, really like the way this sounds. So I'm going to take out some of these sounds in this one, and I like that section at the end. I'm gonna take the other ones out. And I think I'm done for now. Let's go back to Ableton Live, and let's see if everything is still recording. Still got some signal right there. It's recording for 30 minutes already. Okay, this is gonna be a really, really goddamn long video. So right now I've got everything set up. I can even close down Liquid Rhythm if I want, but I think this is good enough. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to delete this first MIDI clip because I've already got it into my arrangement view, and I'm going to take this clip and I'm going to drag it over to my Liquid Rhythm track. Then I'm going to click this little button and I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm gonna click this little button and I now have that same loop in Liquid Rhythm itself. I'm going to bring the volume down a little bit. And this is the actual loop that we got right now. And I can easily, you know, just swap some of the instruments and see how everything sounds. So that instrument is not really doing that much, so I can, for instance, drop this up to there and see how that sounds. And you can hear it, it totally changes the sound of the loop. So I can, for instance, drop in that one right here and drop that one here, and now we get, or, you know, just drop it down to here. I don't really like these triplet notes right here, so I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna copy over that one. And we're now actually getting a pretty interesting loop. And what I want to do now is I'm going to add a groove to this. Now, what this is going to do, because right now everything falls exactly on the beat. I mean, it's spot on every single beat. And that is not what I want when I'm working with Glitch Hop. So if I go to packs right here, and I've got quite a lot of them, but in the core library pack, which should come with Ableton Live already, we've got swing and groove. And in that we've got a lot of folders with groove templates. So I can go to one of my favorites, which are in the MPC folder, and go to the bottom somewhere to the MPC 16 swing, and I'm gonna take the MPC 16 swing 70. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to open up my groove pool, and I'm gonna drag this one into my groove pool itself. So now, you can see that the timing is set to 100% and the velocity is set to 30%. So what is it going to do? It's going to quantize the notes. It's not going to change the length of the notes, it's only going to change the timing. And it's going to make sure that the timing is going to fall exactly on the timing that is saved inside this groove template. And with this groove template, there are also velocity information for each note. And it's basically going to change the velocities to bring them 30% closer to the velocities in this groove template. So it's not going to totally take over the velocities that are inside the template itself, but it's going to take, 30% closer to the actual velocity in the groove. So now, our loops still sound the same. I mean, if I play this loop, it's still gonna sound. And really listen to those first two hits. Those. Now listen what happens when I change that groove. This is without the groove. And this is with the groove. And I can easily swap out the groove for a different one. Let's say take the Funker 70 and just drop it on the other one. And now our clip sounds like this. I think I actually like the Funker clip really a lot. I'm gonna select the same one for my main drum clip, even though it's most likely not gonna change anything. Because these one fall exactly on the beat, and I think that even in this one they do fall exactly on the beat. Now there's one thing that I need to change within this groove template, and I'm gonna change the timing from 80% to 100%, because I don't want the timing to change only a little bit, you know. I want the timing to be exactly spot on. So now this track sounds like and compare that to what it was. I'm also gonna take out the velocity change, see how that sounds. I really like this. Now let's see how this sounds together with our main drums. So I think it sounds pretty good. I can change some of these notes. You know, add in something else. And I'm just playing around a little bit. And you can hear I can really change up the overall vibe of the actual clip. If I want, I could also change the velocities all to 100%, see how that sounds. I actually kind of like it. I think we're done for today. You now hear and you now know what grooves sound like. There is a big difference in the funker and swing grooves. Let's drop this down. So this is the swing groove. So it sounds pretty good. I might change some things in the upcoming video or between this video and the next video, but I will come back at it and show you what I did. I can show you how it sounds with this other MIDI clip. Let's pick the right groove template for this one. So this is a little bit of a different clip with a little bit more complicated rhythm. And when I combine that with the new liquid rhythm track, it's gonna sound like. So that sounds pretty good. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions regarding this video or one of my other videos, then please click the bottom left to tweet them at ARTFX Studios. And if you want to get some feedback on your music, I get a lot of these questions. If you want to have some feedback, come to my website. Register there and you can post your music on the forum and I'll get back at you as soon as possible. I might not get back at you within one day, but I do a feedback round like every week or so. So you might at least get some feedback from me within a week. But there are also possibilities that you're gonna get feedback from other members. So that's a pretty interesting thing. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these videos, and I'm still thinking what I'm gonna do for next week's video. So if you have an idea for a particular video idea or video subject, then please post it in a comment below. Upcoming Saturday, there's not going to be a sound design Saturday. I'm going to have a weekend off, and the week after that, I'm going to do another one of these sound design Saturday videos. So if you have an idea for that video, post it in the comment below, and I'll try to remember it, try to do a video about it. And yeah, if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, favorite it, share it with your friends, I don't know, do whatever you want. I hope you like the videos and have a nice day. See ya.